Hello, mic test. Hello, mic test. Hello, mic test. Hello. Hello. So we are going to have a webinar. Um, Hello, mic test. Good afternoon, mga katoma. Sound, 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 sound. Okay, so hello mga katoma. So we are going to have a webinar at 2 p.m. Okay. So for the meantime, let's see if we can play some music. All right. Okay, so again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Toma Sessions, and I shall see you in an hour. Ayan, so may preview na kayo, no, sa ating live session mamaya.
Alright guys, so today I'm gonna share with you the unboxing of the tools that I have reordered from Varsity Tools, which is basically based in Manila. And
Hello, Jericho. Kabuhay. Hi, Eunice.
Hello po.
Okay. Let me know kung ano na ha, kung pwede na akong pumasok. Ay, Eunice? Eunice?
Okay, sir.
Mamaya, mag-a-announce ako, magpapa-contest ako. Ewan ko kung magagawa natin. Magpapamigay ako ng isang tiki mug. Of course, what do you call this? Yung shipping will be shouldered by them to Laguna. One winner lang. So, ang gusto ko mangyari, tignan natin. Ilan ba ang ina-expect? Ilan na ang confirmed participant?
Mga 50 po. Hindi lang po namin sure kung mga makaka-50 po.
Okay. So, yung 50 na yun, ang ano natin, magpapagame ako. So, using naman yung TikTok account ko. So, bali ang mangyayari, I'll give them... Ay, nagsistart na ba? Sige, mamaya na lang, i-discuss ko na lang. Basta magpapakontest ako. Ang premyo isang tiki mug.
Baby girl. Baby girl. Sana all.
No stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to bronze. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I'd be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We on, hating because you want. Shining like it's neon. Rock like Kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Getting lost.
Mabuhay, Angeline.
Life. I am Raisa Mariska Burt, welcoming you at the 74th commencement exercises and the
only by frozen memories. It's hard. Racing on these broken dreams. make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Until you find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
Hindi ko naman makikita.
shower out naman dyan, Paps. Kamusta? Kamusta dyan sa, ano ba? Bacolod. Bacolod. Kamusta dyan? Beverage Innovation TV in the house.
Again, we are requesting everyone to please settle down as we are about to begin in a few minutes. For the meantime, kindly name your Zoom name, through section, or org dash your name. Thank you. Ba-
Ayun. Iloilo. Oo nga pala, Pop. Sorry Sorry naman. Tagal na kasi. Nakikita. Malapit lang yan. Laban lang, Pop. Oo nga, matagal na hindi nakapag-live eh. Ngayon na lang ulit. Okay, so guys, welcome to Toma Sessions in a few minutes. Also, we will be having a live webinar together with the frontliners of LPU, Lyceum, the Philippines University in Laguna. So, do watch out for that. By the way, as we wait on standby, I would like to thank also our new sponsor for some of our contents, which is Love Glassware, LAV Glassware. So you can check out the glasswares of Love Glassware on their website, love.com.ph. Okay, so shout out to Beverage Innovation TV all the way from Iloilo. subscribe na rin po kayo sa channel niya. Also, I would like to thank one of our new sponsors here for Toma Sessions, Love Glassware, LAP Glassware. You can check out their website on lovelap.com.ph. And welcome to Toma Sessions. We shall be having a webinar featuring the frontliners of LPU Laguna. Our topic is pretty interesting, so please do stick around. So, huwag naman kalimutan i-subscribe. Bago pala mag-subscribe, magkaroon muna tayo ng YouTube account. And then, siyempre, paano tayo mag-subscribe kung wala tayo? And then, after subscribing, do hit the subscribe button. So, the bell, the notification bell, blah, blah, blah. So, hit the notification bell so you can be updated with our newest uploads. Especially now, we have a live stream. Nakakamiss, no? It's been months since our last live stream. So see you guys later.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly. bound only by frozen memories. Lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly. We'll fly away, away, away. Yeah, we'll fly. I will fly.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you very much for that great introduction. So, as um, well, they said, so as ayun, actually, I'm on already in YouTube, so I'll see you there for the rest of the afternoon. So, kita-kits. All right, see you. Okay, guys, so I'll go live. Change cam na ako. I already have the PowerPoint. Ako na lang ano. I just need to check if everybody is here. All right, I'll turn on the cam in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so hello guys. So just comment your names. Comment your names and LPU, dash LPU, Laguna, so that we will know for attendance also. Mabuhay, Portside PH. Ayun, may mga YouTube channel din pala talaga yung iba sa inyo. No? That's good. Hello, Mike. Mike. Okay. Hello, Alexis. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you press 1 if you can hear my audio? Okay, good. Yeah, okay, perfect. Sige. So for the meantime, let's gather everyone here. Okay, right here, if you're from LPU, because we might have other visitors also from either the YouTube world or our other subscribers. So mamaya we shall be going back also to Zoom para sa picture taking natin. For the meantime, I'd like to welcome everybody who's here right now in our live stream. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the frontliners organizing committee, so you can take a picture na lang of their names for the attendance. So far we're 32. So paki-like nyo din. Then put a thumbs up dito sa may natin. There's a thumbs up here. So para makita ko kung if you are listening or you can hear what I'm saying right now. There's a thumbs up or a like dito sa baba. Sige. Okay, what's going on? Okay, 32. Like natin guys ha, baka naman. Okay, so let's not be too formal here because what we're going to be discussing naman mamaya, well, it's all about the bar, di ba? So, I'll be switching on my PowerPoint presentation as soon as we reach the magic number. So, for the committee, Eunice, if you can hear me, and then Nonoy, teka, post natin. Margaret, do you need to be seen sa camera? Pwede kita iakyat.
Mabuhay, Sir Richie. Good afternoon
Mabuhay,
po.
mabuhay. Ayan, sige, nasa camera na tayo. Okay. 35, bali 33. Kanina nasa mga 50 plus tayo. Sige, let's wait for the others. LPU. Si Ma'am Joyce ba nandito na? Hello, Ma'am Joyce. Hello, Dean. So yan, actually this is part of the new normal, YouTube, TikTok. Although ngayon TikTok is really a massive platform. No? In fact, before we start, I will actually ask you guys to, may contest tayo ng konti and may premyo tayo ito. Okay. Noy, so in-stream nyo rin pala ako sa sa Zoom? I mean Zoom also? Baka kaya wala pa kasi hindi pa lumilipat yung iba. Kaya hindi pa tayo nakakompleto. Yeah. Host. Okay. Okay. So, paano, Noy, baka yung mga classmates nyo nasa Zoom pa, kaya hindi pa tayo maabot ng 40 na pala. Anyway, I'll start na in okay lang naman. I also don't want to waste your time, and because this is a very interesting topic and a very relevant one. No? Okay, so for starters, ganito. No? So again, thank you very much to the Frontliners and Lyceum of the Philippines University in Laguna. Again, si Ma'am Joyce, of course, and all the faculty and staff as well as the organizing team. So it is an honor. I've been with you last semester, I guess, with one webinar, and of course, it's always a pleasure to talk in front of everybody. virtually when it comes to my life, which is bartending. Okay. Um, Siguro just a heads up, I'm pretty much in, kumbaga nasa uso ko ngayon because I just came from COVID, no? Nagkaroon ako ng COVID. Pero semi lang, semi. I call it semi because hindi naman tayo naapektuhan in terms of breathing. Okay? So I had fever, nawalan ako ng pang-amoy, panlasa, which is actually very scary. Kasi nga, if I don't have those two senses, then what's the use of me still practicing bartending, ano? But I think after 2 weeks, 2 weeks and a half, bumalik siya. And yeah, now I'm alive and kicking. May konting paano ba? May konting side effects or hangover ang pagkaka-COVID ko in terms of siguro dry cough or phlegm build up little bit. Pero ngayon okay na. I would say I'm 100%. I'm double vaccinated. Actually, ang isa siguro sa nakasave sa akin na hindi maging full-blown COVID ito is naka-first vaccine na before I got hit. But yeah, ngayon ayun, ito si Ma'am Joyce. Hello, welcome ma'am, welcome. So but now I'm okay. So kaya actually yun nga, ang sabi ni Dean kanina, 'di ba? COVID is still here, but we have to find ways to cope with it. And ayun na nga, one way of coping with it is really doing things like virtual learning, virtual tasting. Mamaya I'll be discussing it with you. Pero ito na. So let's go to the main So apart from YouTube, so Toma Sessions is my channel, which actually started, for those of you who don't know yet, it started during the pandemic, which was 2020. March, May, ganyan. So more or less 1 year old pa lang itong ating channel. It started because, of course, dahil sa pandemic, walang trabaho, di ba? And basically, the bars are closed. So we wanted to, or I was kind of searching for myself. Ano na ba gagawin natin? May pag-asa pa bang bumalik? But I realized, meron akong unfinished business talaga which is to upload contents, upload videos, and inspire students, just like you guys, who are aspiring to be bartenders in the future. So yeah, I started officially in YouTube around May, and siguro I got monetized sometime September, pero hindi totoo monetized because mahirap maging monetized channel unless ako si Tulfo o si Ivana Alawi. Or maybe even the superstars of player bartending across the globe. Like there's one guy, si Vladimir Buryanov. He's not only famous in YouTube but also on Instagram and in TikTok. And in saying that, I want to request everybody, ito na nanonood ngayon, which includes the frontliners, I need your support for my TikTok channel. So far, I have 399 followers, and I want it to reach 1,000 para pwede din ako mag-live stream doon. Now, let's play a little game for 1 week, starting today. So, mangyari, from the time matapos itong ating webinar, I want you to invite your friends, okay, which includes you guys, kung may TikTok account kayo, to follow my TikTok channel. Okay? Now, for me to know that you followed my channel, you write there, hashtag, okay? Ganito gagawin natin. I'll upload a video that would contain this guy. Okay? Pag na-upload ko yung video that has this guy, si Pinoy Tiki Mug, alright? So, dito kayo mag-heart and magko-comment. So, what you will comment here is your name and hashtag LPU Laguna. Okay? Name, hashtag LPU Laguna. Right? Now, after 5 days or a week, pag umabot ng 1,000 na yung followers, pag umabot ng 1,000, I will randomly draw the name and post it or announce it sa first live stream ng TikTok, Toma Sessions, kung mapaabot nyo ng 1,000. Now, yung random na mananalo, ano ko to sa roleta, okay? I will type all the names and do the live stream doon sa TikTok. Hindi ko lang kung magagawa ko yun o pwede rin sa YouTube, ano. Then, one of you, o kung sino man mga nag-comment doon, will win this. Okay? So, kung taga Laguna kayo, unfortunately, hindi ko nasagot ang hindi ko nasagot ang Lala Moves nito. Kayo na ang magbayad doon. Okay? Now, if you're in Manila, maligaw kayo, then mas magiging mura. No? So, ano ba itong tiki mug? So, actually, this is the first Pinoy tiki mug. Obviously, it's made in the Philippines. Alright? So, limited edition lang ito. I'm selling this for 1,000, pero para sa inyo, ayun nga, this will be our price. So, para pampaano lang natin, no? Pampakilig lang with this webinar that we're going. So, again, dito kayo magko-comment when I upload a video about Tiki Mug doon sa TikTok ng Toma Session. Sandali lang, mga 5 seconds lang. Just to, just to create a promo, no, for this being the grand prize or the main prize. Okay? So, sige. So, I think we can start now. Let me share with you my PowerPoint presentation. Okay? I can't see you, but you can see me. Let's see if ano tayo, no? Kung nakaano na yung PowerPoint. Wait lang. Kita nyo na ba yung PowerPoint? Hindi. Wag na lang. Wait lang. Let me exit. Sorry. Ano na lang. Yeah. Actually, ganyan na lang. I'll remove post, Nonoy, tanggalin muna kita sa ano, ha? Dalawa kasi tayo nakikita sa camera, eh. So, nakikita nga ako. Okay. F5 natin, ha? Sorry, guys. Yan, kita na ba? Can you comment 1 if you can see this already? Press 1 po tayo kung kita nyo yung PowerPoint. I think hindi. Wait lang, ha. Yan. Kita na, no? Okay? Alright, so let's start. So the rise of the bar industry in the new normal. To Toma or not to Toma? Okay? So this is a very relevant topic, especially at this time. No? Ano na ngayon? Tonight is actually Halloween, tsaka kahapon. So in fact, after natin mag-usap-usap mamaya, baka umalis ako. I'll go to one bar somewhere in Quezon City. No? So, the rise of the bar industry in the new normal, to Toma or not to Toma. Parang to be or not to be, to drink or not to drink. Now, before I start, I'd like to acknowledge again the frontliners, College of International Tourism and Hospitality Management, LPU Laguna. Thank you. So thank you again for having me over. It's always a pleasure. Basta message nyo lang ako. I will be always there if ever we have time on our hands. So again, I was introduced, but just to give you a run through again. So I worked. I graduated from UP. I worked for 23 years as a bartender and trainer. I was blessed to teach in those universities that was mentioned by your host na wala akong masters. That's one thing that I'm very proud of. I don't know. I've attended my master's degree. Nag-master ako for I think one sem. Pero I eventually dropped kasi may work ako sa gabi. I have events. So more often than not, if ever I have classes in the morning, tulog ako. So it's really hard to study. But I'm not saying I'll go back. It's still in my bucket list to have a master's degree. But as of now, obviously, diba, mas importanteng medyo kumayod tayo. I also worked on ships, so mainly two cruise lines, Celebrity in Holland, America, as a bartender and as a sommelier. And then I also organized and joined competitions as what was mentioned. Actually, hindi nabanggit yun sa organization of competition. So, sayang hindi naging hindi natuloy ang pagsali dati ng winning you guys sa Bacardi University competition. So I helped organize that with Bacardi. We had a good run for 7 years. So because of the pandemic, na-cancel. Hindi nga kami nakapag-second run ng elimination. But we never know in the future, right? So, but of course, even though I did the first virtual mixology competition last year, December. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have another one this coming December, but I'll let you guys know. So same format, talking bartender, but of course the challenge is really for the connectivity, especially at the time. Actually, in our 4-hour broadcast, 2 beses yata o 3 beses kami namatay or nag-off air kami because our audience reached 2,000. Okay. So actually, it's pretty encouraging to put up another one, but we're still trying to also look for sponsors that can help us out for the prizes. Okay, so I had a bartending school. Ito yung picture na yan. Unfortunately, it closed already. So of course, that's one of the things that the pandemic hit. Not only the hospitality industry, but also the educational sector. And kami sa TESTA, this is a TESTA school. Of course, kulang ang bartending lang to be able to sustain a business. And yeah, as I said a while ago, I created the YouTube and TikTok channel, plus Instagram and Facebook. And then, ito pala ang pinaka-latest. So, I wrote a book. Sayang, Ma'am Joyce, pero sana magkaroon tayo sa library ng Lyceum. It's still being ongoing ang printing, but you can pre-order through Edric Publishing. Okay, so what's the objective of this webinar? How to handle intoxicated guests, how to serve alcohol responsibly, how the bar and beverage industry is rising to the new normal, and how to be a responsible bar management student. Actually, as I was reading through the letter that you gave me, this is really all about responsible service of alcohol. Okay? Now, I've always wanted to start a research about alcohol and its effects on people. Pero sa Pinas. But I actually gathered a few references online which will help me with this webinar that we're going to do right now. So, but before we start, I want to show you some of our friends from the industry. Now, I won't really tell you whether they're open or not because as we speak, technically bars are supposed to be closed. Okay, I repeat, bars are supposed to be closed as per government standard. Kinakailangan kung magbubukas ka ng bar or you will serve alcoholic beverages, you have to serve food first. Okay? Now, that's the law. Now, as much as I don't agree with the law, but that's the law. No? And also some of our friends from the industry. No? So, everybody has to find ways or be creative, ika nga din natin, on how to survive or how to pivot. So, this is Jeff. Okay? This is Jeff Nova. He actually works in craft. Okay? And he is, well, if I'm not mistaken, that cocktail is a twist on the Jungle Bird. I forgot the name. Bikini Bottom. Okay, I remember. Bikini Bottom. And this is a clarified cocktail of the Jungle Bird version. Right? Yan si Jeff. Now, next natin is, actually, Jeff din pala to. No, dalawa sila Jeff. Ang galing, coincidence. Just si Jeffrey din to. Si Jeffrey naman is making a Negroni. He's based in Poblacion. Okay, the name of, ano nga ba? Ano nga ba name ng bar nito ni Jeffrey? I forgot it, but it's an Indian themed sports bar, karaoke bar somewhere in Poblacion. And he's making a Negroni. Right? Next, this is Ichi from Otto. So he's making a daiquiri. Okay, one of my favorite cocktails. Actually, ang Negroni rin is also one of my go-to cocktails whenever I'm in bars. Right? And ito naman si Marge. Okay, pangalan ng host natin. So Marge works, obviously, kita nyo naman. Okay, wala palang ayun, Rue Bourbon. So she works in Rue Bourbon in Ortigas. So she's making a margarita. Okay? Now, next naman, this is Wendell. He actually works in one of the newest cocktail bars in Marikina. It's called Bar by East. Bar by, tama ba? Bar by the East. Okay? So, he is actually making a signature drink that they have in Bar by East, and this has bell pepper in it. And yung may-ari, and also a good friend also from Marikina, ito si Ryan Asidao. He's also the brand ambassador of Diageo Philippines. So he is making an old-fashioned. Tama ba? Or Negroni din? Negroni din yata. Sorry, Negroni din tong ginawa niya. Okay? Now, ito pa yung isa. Okay, sa Cubao. So let's go to Cubao. This is Alexis. So he's making, forgot the name. But it's also a classic cocktail which is Scotch-based. Okay. And then, eto si Kuya Ralph Santos is making a smoked whiskey sour with a twist. He works naman in the Spirits Library, also in Poblacion. Okay? Okay, this is si Loven. Loven works also in Rue Bourbon, but sa BGC. So he also made me a Negroni. And si Maverick. Okay, so Maverick naman made the Blood and Sand. So he works in the Refuge, also in BGC. Okay? So actually, marami pa talagang dapat ako iaano sa inyo. No? But just before I start, okay. So, what I do now is, I go to bars. No? I go to bars. Wala akong pera. Okay? But actually, I just want to take their pictures. Let them make cocktails and promote their bars on my Instagram. And promote them as bartenders. Kasi like I told you nga, di ba, some of them are technically not yet open. So kaya bawal naman yon. But of course, I will promote them as bartenders. So if they want to see them, if the guests want to see them, if the guests want to taste their concoctions, then they know where to find them. Okay? So kaya I do that. Na kanina sabi ko wala akong pera. Yeah, wala. Wala talaga. But I save up so that I can buy. It's my way of supporting them. As bartenders, as my brothers in the bar industry. And of course, um, kahit ako nga technically I am unemployed now, but I'm waiting for calls. It's the least I can do. Ang sabi nga nila kung sino yung mas hindi nakakalamang but kung sino ang mas may kusa, then gawin natin. And I am doing this without any strings attached. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo kanina, later tonight, I'll go. And also another thing why I do this is I want to go out. I want to meet people pa rin. I miss going to bars. I miss, chatting with friends, meeting new friends. And it's a good feeling to be able to see these guys, working, shaking, chatting, pouring, staring, di ba? So it's wow. Iba ang pakiramdam ika nga. So there. Now, pero apart from that, so let's go to reality. So I was able to dig up this reference, and it says here. Sorry guys. Every day, about 28 people in the United States die in drunk driving crashes. That's one person every 52 minutes. In 2019, these deaths reached the lowest percentage since 1982, when this group, NHTSA, started reporting alcohol data, but still 10,142 lost their lives. These deaths were all preventable. Now, 2019 yan. In Washington, fatal crashes involving alcohol were up 9% in 2020 compared to 2019. Even as vehicle miles traveled fell by 13%. Obviously, sabi dito, konti lang ang sasakyan sa kalsada, obviously. Because may mga lockdown, hindi ka naman pwede pumunta anywhere, especially during the early stages of the pandemic. According to preliminary estimates of crash fatalities involving vehicles, motorcycles, and people walking and driving released today by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, yun yung NHTSA. An estimated 38,680 people died in motor vehicle crashes in 2020. Amerika lang po yun. Now, the largest projected increase since 2007, isipin nyo, di ba? Now, that represents about a 7% jump in overall traffic deaths in 2020 compared to 2019. Okay? Pero, sabi, data from the Federal Highway Administration shows that the vehicle miles traveled decreased. So, kahit kumunti yan sa sasakyan, sa kalsada, dumami yung aksidente. Now, MADD, Mother Against Drunk Driving, says, while horrific, the projections released today confirm that we've already learned anecdotally, even as people drove less during the pandemic, they were more likely to use alcohol. As a result, more likely to be involved in fatal crashes. Okay. Now, ito yung problema dyan. Amerika lang yan. I actually tried to ask, yung isang former student ko who happens to work for a law firm, public law firm. Hindi siya abogado, but she's a staff. And apparently, hindi na do-document dito kung ilan ang nababangga at namamatay dahil sa pagkalasing. Okay. Now, they treat that just as an ordinary criminal case or offense. Okay? I'm not sure of the exact term, ha? Baka may maka-check nito eh. And you know, maano tayo. But bottom line is, hindi nila minomonitor kung ilan ang na-aksidente dahil lasing. Okay? Which is a very sad and weird thing. Because, you know, kailangan nakamonitor ito eh. We don't have statistics on this. We don't have hard statistics. And you can see pretty well on TV. Ano ba nangyari pagka may na-aksidente na babangga? Lagi lang sinasabi nila, mag-ingat po tayo sa pagmamaneho, nakainom lang po, you know. It's just ganun lang. But to be proactive and vigilant, wala, ningas kugon lang. And I'm pretty sure na especially because of the pandemic, madami ang na-aksidente, no, because of drunk driving. Now, here is an abstract. It says that COVID-19 pandemic and its associated government measures to limit mobility impacted patterns and places of alcohol consumption. While the path to recovery remains long and difficult, the crisis also increases the risk that individuals engage in harmful drinking to cope with stress. During the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been an increase in domestic violence, for which harmful alcohol consumption is a risk factor. Now, harmful alcohol consumption damages health, causes diseases and injuries, weakens response to COVID-19, and leads to significant economic and societal costs. Comprehensive policy packages built on a PPP approach includes price product, policing, to counter drunk driving, primary care-based counseling for avid drinkers, and regulating alcohol promotion activities to improve health and support a stronger economic and social recovery in the aftermath of the pandemic. Now, ito yung key findings. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people have significantly changed drinking habits, shifting from place of consumption from bars and restaurants to home. Totoo yun. No, syempre, bawal na eh, sarado na. So, saan pa iinom? Now, in fact, I've been also talking with some of the friends, bartender friends from other countries. For example, Australia. Kung sa Pilipinas, ang essential na sabi nila, ang lugaw daw ay hindi essential. Sa Australia, actually, ang liquor store is considered essential. So, never siyang sinaran during the pandemic. It's essential. Which I agree. You know? And sure enough, the rise in alcohol purchases at home increased. Now, some of the problems associated with harmful alcohol consumption were intensified by the crisis, even though the long-term impacts of COVID on alcohol consumption are uncertain. Totoo yun. Now, harmful alcohol consumption takes a heavy toll on people, the economy, and the society. Now, obviously, this is because of depression. This is because of stress, which is related to mental health. Now, actually, guys, a lot has been said about mental health. Sometimes, yung iba, okay, again, this is my opinion, we tend to be too overly acting on the word mental health. Ako, I can talk about mental health, but it takes a strong emotional quotient to deal with the reality. Okay? Kasi, like me, for example, right now, no, basically, I am still, what do you call this? I can't say I'm 100% okay, but I'm fighting, I'm striving, because yun nga, hindi pa naman talaga 100% open ang bars eh. Hindi pa naman 100% alive and kicking ang F&B industry. Okay? Now, even if the ships are already sailing at 80%, okay, hindi pa naman lahat pinapabalik or nakakabalik. No? And hindi pa lahat din talaga ng mga tao that can, okay, actually right now, the main question is, when will people that cruise find or be able to cruise again na without really, uh, how do you call it, belt tightening. Kasi syempre, this pandemic also affected the livelihood of people. No? Unless if you're really super, super rich and unless your business is really uh, not affected by the pandemic. Now, government have at their disposal a battery of policy interventions to tackle harmful alcohol consumption and prevent related diseases. So preventing alcohol-related diseases and injuries has triple dividend. So yun yung key findings ng abstract. Now, let's go over the following. No? COVID pandemic has significantly changed people's lifestyles, including drinking habits. Overall, most people did not change their drinking amount, but among those who did, a larger portion of them increased consumption. Totoo yun. Especially during the early times, di ba? There were, dito sa Philippines, since bawal alcohol. Dito sa Manila, I don't know sa inyo sa Laguna, no? You can comment. No? You can always comment. Feel free to comment dito sa chat natin. Ako, actually, I was uhaw na uhaw for beer. Kasi sarado yung mga 7-Eleven eh. It's a good thing I had a student, graduate na siya syempre, and she owns a restaurant. A restaurant. And technically, illegally, nagbebenta siya ng beer. Bumibili ako sa kanya ng beer. You know? And it's really funny and exciting at the same time kasi the way we exchange money for beer is, well, when I buy beer, medyo of course secret, no? I am discreet in going to their place. May dala-dala akong eco bag, you know, and I go at a time na talagang walang police, no, sa paligid. All right? And ayun. So mabilisan yung transaction. No, I would buy like 2 cases. All right? And of course, since you're doing nothing because you don't have work, right? There was a time in the early stages of COVID na morning, noon, and night ang pag-toma. You know? And yun yung sabi dito. A larger proportion of them increased consumption. So, sa madaling salita, napadami din talaga yung consumption ko ng alcohol during those early stages. Now, a small increase in alcohol purchases is also observed in government data monitoring sales, at least in countries of which data are available. So, ito nga, no, the problem here is itong, well, actually, sa Philippines, I was talking to some friends in the beverage industry, talagang dumami ang purchases ng liquor online. Online selling has really skyrocketed. Kaya nga dumami na rin eh. Dumami na rin ang mga businesses on online selling. And obviously, because and I think it's here to stay. Okay? It's here to stay. Now, people increased their drinking frequency, but binge drinking frequency was not greatly modified. Now, pag sinabing binge drinking, talagang, laklak. No? Laklakan talaga. Now, while the hospitality sector, such as hotels, bars, and restaurants, was severely hit by the crisis, other sectors, such as retail stores and e-commerce, saw increasing sales. All right? So, totoo yun. As what I mentioned kanina. And also, yun nga. So, lalo na sa Philippines, kasi sa ibang bansa, wala silang sari-sari store, di ba? Eh, dito sa atin, madami. Now, the crisis intensified some of the harms and problems arising from alcohol use. Harmful patterns of alcohol consumption, such as underage drinking, heavy drinking, or binge drinking, are highly prevalent in some population groups, and the COVID-19 restrictions have intensified this tendency. So, totoo yan. So, yung mga bata, no? I don't know if, well, I guess most of you are already 18 years old and above, but I'm pretty sure dito sa Philippines, lalo na yung mga kabataan, no? Not only it's drinking consumption tumaas, pati yung, alam niyo, ano pa yung tumabo? Alam niyo ba kung ano ba yung tumabo? Sigarilyo at vape. Okay? Now, it's so amazing and amusing to see people, actually yung mga TikTokers nga no? Ano lang ba, it's very casual that while doing a live stream, talagang nagve-vape lahat, no? Magkano ba ang isang syrup, no? Magkano ang vape mismo? Alright? So, yun, tumaas yan. Alcohol and smoking. And yun nga, yung vape. Now, during COVID-19 lockdowns, women, parents of young children, middle-aged people, people with higher income, and individuals with depressive and anxiety symptoms reported the highest increase in alcohol consumption. So ito very targeted kasi may data sila. Now, Australia, France, Belgium, UK, and the United States. So women, no, yung mga babae, parents of young children, middle-aged people, that includes me. No, people with higher income, hindi tayo kasali dyan. And individuals with depressive and anxiety and symptoms. Yeah, because like I said kanina, ang daming ngayon, anxious and actually desperate nung early times. No? I think until now meron pa rin, but some of them have been relieved, especially those who were working on ships. They're back there now. And yeah, kaya nakakaano sila. By the way, guys, gusto ko lang shout out yung meron tayong mga bisita rin pala dito from Bulacan State University Sarmiento campus. So, welcome sa inyo. Welcome, welcome. So, pwede pa rin tayo, Just send me a message if you guys would like to also do other things in the future. All right, so ito pa, increased alcohol use is common after traumatic events. And excessive alcohol consumption can be a response to the high stress levels. Totoo yun. No? Ano ba yung traumatic events? Nawalan ka ng trabaho. Whether it be nagsara yung school. Nagsara yung mga kumpanya. Okay? So, paano mo maano yun? May i-deal yun. Ano pa? Alcohol. Now, last but not the least, but the saddest one, ito again, this is in other countries, no? But I'm not sure kasi walang document sa Philippines eh. As far as I know. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't really searched this yet, but domestic violence increased. Oh, kasi malungkot eh. Diba? Tatay walang trabaho, si nanay walang trabaho. So, anong gagawin? Toma. No? And, of course, we'll discuss later the effects of being intoxicated. Now, investing in protecting children and people with problematic drinking is particularly important during the pandemic. Protecting young people like yourself from alcohol promotion, ito ibig sabihin mga commercial. Use of media such as TV, internet, social media, ayun na yun, Facebook, TikTok, ganyan, YouTube. During the pandemic, children have increased screen time. Ayun, totoo yun. Oh, since nauso ang online learning, pero I'm not sure about the data, ilan ang pumasok at hindi, ilan ang enrolled at hindi. Actually, maraming hindi enrolled ngayon because it's still pandemic. Ito nga, nakikita ko nga sa YouTube, there are kids from 17 to 20 years old, talagang TikTok, and then they answer talaga honestly that hindi sila pumasok. No, hindi sila nag-enroll because it's online. They don't like online learning. Now, it's kind of, of course, it's their decision, but yun nga, ang tanong kasi dyan what then do you do? No, what then do you do if you don't go to school? Diba? And of course, ito na nga, screen time by 50%, including TV and social media. So, ayun. So, parang kinain na ng sistema. Di ba, may kasabihan ng ganyan. So, siguro, binge watching also for Netflix. Di ba? Lalo na naging patok na patok ang Squid Game. No? And then, these children are likely to have increased their exposure to alcohol advertising, which is correlated to the probability of experimenting with the drinking for the first time. Actually, guys, another country that is, I'm pretty sure, medyo malaki-laki ang data nito, yung Russia. Okay? Because, Russia, parang tayo din yan eh. Kids like 12 years old or 10 even start drinking already. Okay? And lalo na yan, kung may commercial, so the more they'll be enticed to purchase online. Now, investing in protecting children and people with problematic drinking is particularly important during the pandemic. Okay? Now, tackling cheap alcohol, which is disproportionately consumed by individuals with harmful patterns, of alcohol consumption, including among young people, through minimum unit price policies. MUP has a double advantage. First, it specifically limits the affordability of cheap alcohol. Second, it may have a positive impact on bars and restaurants that are among the sector's most hit. Yeah, totoo to. Ano mong ibig sabihin yan? First, kung mako-control yung cheap alcohol by, of course, papataasin yan, okay? Kasi, dalawang advantage yan. One, hindi bibili kahit sino. Madi-discourage bumili ang taong walang pera. Two, it will help bars to gain their losses during the first part of the pandemic. Diba? Okay. So, wait lang, ha? Let's go here. So, 40 pa rin tayo. 40 viewers. Welcome. Now, prevalence of drinking. According to the 2019 national survey, 85% of people ages 18 and older are reported that they drank alcohol at some point in their lifetime. 169.5% reported that they drank in the past year. 2 and 54.9% of men in this age group, 51% of women in this age group. And then 3 reported that they drank in the past 3 months. Okay? So 2019 po yan. Na puro 2019 ito. I just want you to see, 18 years old and older. And then ito, kasi makikita natin, like ngayon dito sa grupo natin, those for you listeners out there right now, may babae, may lalaki. And others, right? But then again, biologically speaking, ayan, halos hindi nagkakalayo yung porsyento ng umiinom na lalaki at babae. And ito, it's not just drinking, but it's binge drinking and heavy alcohol use. No? Actually, believe nga tayo sa mga kabataan ngayon, ang talagang pag beer ang usapan, Red Horse agad ang gustong inumin. Diba? So, that in itself tells a lot because it's the highest alcohol content of all the local beers that we have. Now, substantial increases in mental health concerns and substance abuse have been widely noted since the start of COVID-19 pandemic. Public survey results have demonstrated elevated rates of depression and anxiety. Kasi yun nga guys, yun naman talagang nararamdaman nating lahat. Lungkot, depression, anxiety, being unsure. Pero of course, yun nga, if we have a strong mental health, then we will have hope. Then we will have courage. Then we will be proactive. Okay? Now those are 3 of the things you can do to improve your mental health. Okay? Kasi, pag mahina mental health mo, ang scapegoat mo talaga lagi ay alak or sigarilyo. Now, alcohol consumption has increased considerably in the context of COVID-19. There was 54% surge in national alcohol sales during the first week of the pandemic. Ito, yan, 2020 to, guys. So, this is a network based sa states. Right? September 2020. Okay? Now, ito naman, high increases were observed among women. So, napadalas ang inom ng babae or dumami ang mga girls na umiinom. Now, for me, I guess wala namang kaso yun, mapalaki or mabababae. But of course, based on survey, di ba, normally talaga, mas madaming lalaki umiinom. But because of the pandemic, ito na. Women also demonstrated 39% increase compared to 27%. Okay? So, mas marami yata ang mga tomador na babae ngayon. Okay, so just to lighten up our discussion. Now, ito, just so you'd see the major points of this topic that I've researched. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly changed people's lifestyles, including drinking habits. Harmful alcohol drinking damages health and causes significant economic and societal cost. Right? Obviously naman, diba? Ano bang ano ng alcohol? Sa puso, sa atay, sa apdo or pancreas, di ba? And even actually sa calcium natin, it will affect our calcium. Higher health spending. Now obviously, if we're sick, we need medicine, we need hospital. And so that means tataas gastos natin. Lower educational outcome. Now, actually, we'll discuss this one. Reduced employment and work productivity. Lower life expectancy. Detrimental economic impact. Okay, wait, let's go back. Lower educational outcome. Yeah, totoo. Dahil sa COVID pandemic, mas konti ang nag-aaral ngayon. Now, that's why all of you listening and watching right now, consider yourself lucky. And don't waste the opportunity that your parents have given you, that your parents have invested in you, because they believe in education pa rin. No? So, kaya wag natin sayangin. In fact, I applaud everyone that's here right now because, yun nga, this is in every family, especially kayo pag nagkaroon na kayo ng pamilya, this is always a big decision whether you'll enroll or not. No? Kasi syempre, pera di ba? I mean, we had this saying in the hotel. I remember when I was still in college and I have my OJT. In one of the hotels, we have a saying, anong problema maliban sa pera? And it's actually in a materialistic sense, it's still true. I'm not saying na maging materialistic tayo, maging mukhang pera, but of course, you have to pay the bills. No? Hindi naman tayo kagaya ng Amerika na mas maayos yung pag-aayuda nila. Ay ngayon nga, wala nang ayuda eh. No? Iilan na lang ang inaayudahan. Namimili pa. Diba? So, it's really commendable na kayong mga nandito listening to this virtual webinar and doing well in your classes, you will harvest the fruits of your labor soon enough. Now, reduced employment and work productivity. Yes, of course. Siyempre, paglasing ka, okay, tapos, of course, because of the pandemic, madaming natanggal sa trabaho. As they say, displaced, no? And work productivity also has been affected. Kasi nga, skeletal force ngayon. Ngayon, although there are bars that are open, basically, hindi naman to Monday to Friday. Sometimes they close Monday and Tuesday. Sometimes they open only weekend. Sometimes they don't need much staff. Kaya nga, don't get the wrong impression also. I just want to remind everybody kasi minsan, the thing with social media is, you interpret one picture in different ways. Now, the fact that I showed you pictures of bartenders working in bars, it doesn't mean that there are a lot of opening jobs. Okay? Hopefully, there will be in the next year, but ngayon wala pa. Kung meron man hiring na bartender, isa, dalawa. Other countries, yes. Meron na. Especially when we're talking of Dubai, they're pretty aggressive in hiring back people. States. But the $1 million question is yung visa. No? Of course, if you know somebody from there and you have means to process your visa, then lucky you. Yan. And then, lower life expectancy. So, yun nga, of course, since not only the pandemic, kasi ganito yan. Another thing that the pandemic increased is our eating. Yun. Hindi na natin to i-discuss, pero it's also part of anxiety. Ako na mismo. I'm guilty of that because of the pandemic. I kind of ate more than what I should. I kind of drank more than I should. I know it's wrong, but what can we do? Like I said, as of the moment, this is a challenge for every one of us. Whoever has the most will wins the game. Now ito, yun nga, sa dami ng mga sakit, mapapadali ang ating buhay. Because yun nga, the main cause of it is actually more on the psychological part. Sa totoo lang, there's been researches talaga na ang main cause of having sickness has something to do with mental, emotion. So detrimental economic impact. Obviously, yun na nga, because of the pandemic, ano talaga ang ekonomiya natin? It has been really affected. Pero ngayon nga, matatawa ka nga eh. Kasi if you notice now, yung mga lockdown biglang medyo humina na o biglang lumuwag na. Bakit? Kasi malapit na ang eleksyon. Okay? So, hindi. Joke lang po yun. Let's not talk politics. I don't like that. In fact, hindi nga ako bumoboto simula nung panahon ni Erap. Okay? So, to each his own tayo. But like what I'm saying, that's how it works, I think. Diba? Kasi syempre, ngayon, kailangan mag-pick up na. It's Christmas. Simula nga noong September, nakita nyo, dumungaw na si Jose Marichan. And I don't know how it looks like in Laguna, but in Manila, pati traffic, normal na din. So, well, it's a good sign. Okay, so hopefully, diba nga, nagkaroon na rin ng trabaho ang tao, everybody would be able to bounce back, so, yeah, we can only hope for the better. Now, let's continue with the main deal. How to handle intoxicated guests. Ayan, no? Pagka may ganyan sinyas, isa pa, Toma pa, one more, papa, no? Sabi niya. So, paano nga ba? Stay calm. Okay? So, syempre, kayo yung employee, kayo yung bartender, kayo yung guest. So, you should stay calm. Tranquilo, papi. Ika nga ng mga kaibigan nating Latino. Huh? When you handle them. Next. Don't argue. Okay? Siyempre, lasing na nga eh. Di sabi, ang pumatol sa lasing, mas lasing. Diba? So, lasing na nga eh. So, don't argue with the intoxicated guest. Don't embarrass the guest, especially in front of other people. Sino ba namang matutuwa pag sinabi, boss, tama na yan, lasing ka na. Alright? So, don't embarrass the guest. Pwedeng low tone of voice lang when you are trying to talk to him. Especially if it's a big crowd, And next is, invite the problem guest to an area away from other guests where you can talk. Now, this is a case-to-case basis. Kasi sa totoo lang naman, this is one of the most colorful aspects of the job. No? Kasi tao yung kausap mo eh. And people have different ways of being affected with alcohol. Okay? So, pwede, it may work that you invite them in a private area or away from other guests. Or it may not. Diba? Paano kung hindi sa'yo pumayag pumunta dun sa tabi? Diba? Isipin, anong gagawin mo sa akin? Diba? So, try to just, try to see. Try to weigh things. Now, deal with the situation in a calm and friendly way. Ito yung pinaka-ano doon. Alright? Among all these things. Tranquilo lang. As long as you have your manager there, if you're the manager, as long as you have security there, you have a camera installed, okay, there's really nothing to worry about. Now, of course, if it's a regular guest naman, then actually you won't encounter these things. Kasi alam na nila, you develop the relationship. And of course, if this guest becomes irregular and you know that he's like that, siya na mismo mag-apologize sa inyo. the next day na lang. Okay, listen and empathize. Yan. So, deal with the situation in a calm and friendly manner and listen and empathize. Oh, di ba? Makinig ka lang. Oo ka lang. Develop eye contact. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. All right. I understand. Okay, I see. No? So, yan. Now, let's continue. Now, how to identify intoxicated guests. I think, okay, based on what I've heard from you guys kanina, no, in the Zoom meeting, I guess some of you already had a class about this. So that's why I centered on the most important, yun nga, yung kanina, if you notice, I started with the bartenders and the statistics. Okay? I started from the outside going in. Kumbaga, yung real talk sa mundo, tapos dito sa classroom. Okay? Because ito na, pag-aralan nyo na lang naman na to, and it's just a way of me giving some explanation based on real world. Kasi nga, ako naman lumalabas pa ako eh. Or lumalabas na ako. Na patron, the patron, hindi patron tequila to ha. Oh, yun. May commercial pa tayong isa dyan. Ha? Alright. Patron is drinking fast or the guest is drinking fast. Totoo yun. Actually, ako, when I go to the bar, yung first drink ko, actually, hindi ibig sabihin lasing ako, pero yung first drink ko is one of the fastest consumption. Kasi nauhaw ako eh. No? Na yung second ko, medyo mabilis pa rin. Pero pag third na, medyo chill na ako. Kasi baka mamaya 30 minutes pa lang lasing na ako. Now, patron is smoking 2 cigarettes at once. One is burning and he's lighting another. Yan. So, ito na kasi pag pang malakasan na, makikita nyo yan eh. Actually, once upon a time, I used to smoke. And I agree. I can relate to this. Ako hindi na. I gave up on smoking already. And believe me, pagka ganyan na kasi, inaano mo na yan eh. Parang upper downer ang effect ng if you combine cigarette and alcohol. Eh ngayon nga, like I told you, vape. I haven't done vape, only shisha. No? And yeah, well, I believe it has the same effect, even if you would disagree with me. Kasi syempre, ngayon alam ko naman people would say, sir, iba po ang vape sa sigarilyo. Well, okay, that's your opinion. But yeah, of course, magkaiba, but the effect is basically the same. Okay, patron is spilling drinks. So, ayan na. Totoo yun. Maano man na yan. Kasi bakit? Yung mga motor skills is getting numb already. And you can't think straight. So, kasi nga, epekto na ng alcohol yan. And here, patron is engaging in loud, boisterous. Yan, pag medyo napapalakas na no, ang inyong pag-uusap. Actually, ako nga, one of my, I don't know, for some reason, one of my signs, pag ako'y medyo lasing na, is, I talk a lot, but it's more on, I talk a lot on bartending. Believe it or not. Para magiging deeper yung engagement ko when it comes to bartending. It can become a little boring, but if I'm talking with another bartender, is of the same wavelength, then it's okay. Patron's very quiet. Yes, you have to watch the real quiet ones. Oh, yon. Kasi baka pag tahimik, di ba, sabi nila, delikado. Actually, pag tahimik kasi, baka biglang tumawag ng uwak. Okay? Now, if that happens, delikado kay bartender dahil siya maglilinis nung inupuan ng guest at inuwakan ng guest. Alright? The patron is unable to pick up money or change. Yan. So, ito na. Actually, pwede yan. Kaya lang, do also check this out because baka naglalasing-lasingan lang. No? Baka wala palang pambayad. Okay, next. Patron is annoying your other guests. Now, this one, it really, it really deserves attention and control because syempre kaya ka nga nag-bar is to enjoy, di ba? Not to annoy. Parehas lang na oy. no? And of course, it's your duty, it's your job to make sure this doesn't happen. Right? Now next. Patron has slurred speech. Ay, eto na, di ba? Pagka medyo nagiging alien language na si guest, that means ngongo na, okay? Parang Rastaman na magsalita. Di ba? Ewan ko kung kilala nyo si Rastaman, okay? So, yan. So, once na ganyan na, alam na this. Patron is becoming tearful or emotional. Ayan. So, ito na. Ito na talaga. Medyo mga extreme na to talaga. Pagka ano na. I remember I was in college. No, nagano kami, may inuman kami magkakaibigan sa isang bahay. Well, resort actually. Then, tong isang girl na classmate namin, laki pa naman niya. Laki niya. Tapos, biglang umiyak. Talagang burst, literally, burst into tears. And nagtantrum. No? So, nagagaganon-ganon siya. Actually, malaking babae niya, kaya masakit. Pagka, kunwari, pinigilan namin siya na mag-amok doon. Eventually, nakatulog dahil nga sa kalasingan na. Bagsak, patay. Hindi naman patay, pero literal na talagang bumagsak siya sa unan because of her extreme intoxication. Yan. Patron starts sleeping or gets drowsy. Now, ako, this is another, again, I can tell this to you. I'm not really ashamed of it because as long as I don't do it again and again, then that's okay. It will teach you a lesson. Ang ginagawa ko, pag medyo naantok na ako, kasi sometimes being sleepy or drowsy comes from the fact that you're tired and then you drink. Diba? If that's the case, let's say I'm driving, then I don't drive. I find a place, I stop, and then I sleep or take a nap. And then I go, once I'm okay, then I continue to drive back home. Meron nga ako story na lagi, I always tell this. There's one time I was practically working at the same time but drinking also with bartenders. So nagsimula kami sa Malate. We went to one bar there in Malate. We finished about 2 cases of beers and 2 bottles of rum. So, marami kami. Siguro there were about 12 of us. And then, we went to Greenbelt for a night lang. Eh ako kasi pagod na talaga ako noon. Gusto ko na umuwi kasi may susunduin pa dapat ako sa airport the next day. Now, last thing I remember, I had the shot kasi nagpaikot ng shot ng cognac. And then, I was in the parking lot of Greenbelt, Makati. And the last thing I know, I woke up and dahil may nabangga akong sasakyan sa BGC. Yung sasakyan nakapark. No? So, obviously, may police, di ba? And then, nandun din yung driver. Actually, parang grab car yata yung nabangga ko. And then, natow ako and pumunta ako sa presinto. Okay? Hindi naman ako nakulong. Pumunta ako sa presinto. Then, obviously, with all the talk, they were waiting, ganyan-ganyan. Siyempre, pinagbibigyan ako ng police na kumalma. And that, para of course, insurance paid the bills. Pero, siyempre, yung kalokohan ko, of crashing the car, that totaled to an amount of 7,500 pieces. No? So, kasi kung hindi ako nagbayad noon, baka buong araw ko kausap yung mga police doon. So, yeah. So, and then, but another thing about that experience is that, siguro, about 2 months, sumakit yung chest ko because of the seatbelt, the impact of the seatbelt. No? But, yan. So, yan ang to how I identify intoxicated guests. Now, know how to cut off someone. So, settle the tab first. So, pwede yun. Kasi sa'yo naman ikaw naman may hawak eh. Present mo na kaagad sa guest. Pwede naman. Be firm with refusing to pour another beverage. Now, this is I don't know, for some reason, because of our, paano ba, submissive attitude as Pinoys, okay? I'm not speaking for, no, I've observed this also in one way or another. Ako din, minsan may pagkaganon. I think it's a culture thing. I may be wrong, okay? But minsan kasi mahihiya tayo eh. We're not, a few of us can confront the guest in a calm manner. Normally, if a guest says one more, sir, hindi, sige, isa pa. Sir, yan. Pero mababang boses, sabihin natin, sir, diba? So we end up giving them another shot. Because if you bargain pa, okay, dapat, well, it's a precedent. Okay? So kailangan firm tayo when really cutting off a guest. Don't bargain, yan. Kasi mangyayari, pag pinagbigyan mo isang beses, like just one more na leave, hindi totoo yun. Actually, uulit na naman. Hindi, isa pa. Kaya pa naman eh. Okay? So, babalik tayo sa number 2. You have to stick with your word. Now, be respectful and don't embarrass them. Keep it on the down low as much as possible. So, as what was discussed a while ago, no? Keep it on the down low. Ensure that they are welcome to come back another day. So, but tonight they had enough. Now, make sure they're not driving. Okay. Now, ito meron akong dito. If they are with a group, check that someone is a designated driver or they are all taking a cab together. Lalo na guys, kung kayo maglalasing or kayo iinom, okay? Ideally, wag motor. Kasi kung kayo nasa backseat at kayo naantok at nakatulog, naku po, it's a dangerous act. Okay? Kahit na sabihin yung singhigpit ng rugby ang inyong yakap sa inyong rider. It's dangerous. Okay? So kaya nga, mas maganda mag-cab na lang kung lasing. Stay safe. Safety is a priority. The safety of your other guests, the staff, and the individual. Totoo yun. Diba? Hanggat maaari, ayaw niya ng gulo. Now, that's one of the reasons why may bouncer tayo. Kasi safety talaga eh. Ayaw niya may gulo, ayaw niya may barilan, ayaw niya may bugbugan. Now, in fact, I remember Paddy's Point. No? Merong isang Paddy's Point, di ko na lang may mentionin kung saan. Ang ginagawa ng mga regular guests doon, especially the fraternities, okay, minsan, ito totoo to, hindi to make-believe story. Minsan, para makalibre, okay, gagawa sila ng eksena doon. Gagawa sila ng rumble. Para, pagdating ng pulis, takbuhan na. Tapos, libre na. Di ba? So, I mean, as sad as that sounds, and actually crazy as that sounds, you know, safety pa rin. Eh ngayon, kung ayaw nila magbayad, hindi wag. Basta ikaw, safe ka. Okay? Now, ask them to leave the premises. Once they're cut off, there should be no sticking around or hanging out with friends. Oo, kasi baka umikot lang. Sabi mo, bye na, pero umikot ka. Nandun ka pa pala sa kabilang mesa. Okay? So, as a bartender kasi, your bar is located at the most, I would say, strategic location. Kaya kita mo lahat ng guest. Kaya nga when you design a bar, that's one of the important things. Kailangan yung vision mo, halos 180, if not 360. Okay? Help them safely on their way. This may mean calling a taxi or ordering Grab, ensuring that they are in the car and headed home. Now, ito I remember, two stories. One is, I was in a bar and then there's like a group of Asian, Chinese yata, or if not Taiwanese ladies. Maanim sila. Now, okay pa. Nung palabas na. Pero yung isa, biglang nahimatay. Kasi nga lasing na eh. And saktong-sakto nung pagkatumba nung isang babae, dumating na yung Grab. So, so yung apat na lasing din na babae, they were like stretchers at binuhat si ate doon sa backseat. Now that's, I mean, you can only laugh about it, but of course, nung time na yon, naaawa ako kasi buti na lang may sumamang isa as the companion. Okay? Kasi laging ganun, kailangan may body. And siguro one thing also, apart from a designated driver, kailangan talaga sa isang grupo kung may iinom, merong hindi masyadong iinom. I remember kami, nung aking buddy, kasi we're like a few friends in a barkada. Normally, if we're going to drink, we take turns. For example, for this gimmick, o sige, ako iinom, ikaw mag-drive, or konti lang inumin mo, ikaw mag-drive. And then, the next gimmick naman, siya naman ang magwawalwal. Then, ako naman yung magiging behave. It actually works. You know. And, it ensures that we are safe. Okay? So actually, guys, let me check nga if you're still listening. Can you type 1 if you're still listening or if you understood everything that was discussed? Actually, yung mga taga-Zoom din dito, actually, wag na kayo mag-1 kasi sana nandito kayo sa live stream. Okay, can you type 1 if you understood everything that we've discussed so far? Kasi malapit na rin naman tayo matapos. Sige, tingnan natin. Kasi another thing with YouTube, I can always know if you guys are listening or not, if you're idle or not, based on how you quickly react to what I'm saying. So, okay. Very good. Thanks, guys. So, next tayo. So, responsible serving. Paano nga ba maging ang responsible service? Apart from what we just discussed, one is know when to act. Okay? Kaya nga, one of the hard things about being a bartender is this one. How to cut off people. Most of the time, I say with the young ones na masyadong atat sa pagiging bartender or whatever. I say atat because I'm pretty sure more or less these kids became inspired. It's because of the glitz and glamour. And I always tell them, bartending is not papogi. Okay, bartending is a very, a job that's full of responsibilities, legally, excuse me, and morally. And as you go along or as you mature with this particular profession, you would know when to act. You would know when to cut off guests. But then again, sometimes you wouldn't know. Okay? Kasi nga tao eh. Sometimes you'll be surprised. Yung tao na mismo talaga susuko uminom. Kasi they're responsible. Spot the signs. So again, we've already discussed this, yung mga signs talaga on motor skills, slurred speech, etc., maingay, alright, nanggugulo, nangungulit. Okay? Practice slow service. Now, this is an art. Okay? Now, without the guest, without you being obvious to the guest, pwede kayong pagalan nyo yung pagtitimpla. Or kunwari, magsi-CR kayo. Or kunwari, you're doing something else. Alright? Hanggang sa mag-closing time na. Okay? Now, we've just discussed, know how to cut off someone. Ito rin, pinaka-importante. Know the laws on alcohol in your city or country. Okay? Now, kagaya ngayon, let's be practical. Iba ang Makati is one of those who release talaga specific guidelines about bars and restaurants in terms of alcohol consumption. And I believe kinopya na lang yun ng iba on the early stages of COVID. Pero dito, like, I'm okay, hindi ko na sabihin. But there are some na okay lang. Okay, for example, sa iba, bawal uminom ng isang bucket ng beer or umorder. Sa iba, pwede. No? Sa iba, bawal mag-order ng isang boteng wine. Sa iba, pwede. So you have to know. Okay? So you have to know. You as a bartender should know the law in your specific city or country. Because para may laban kayo. Kasi minsan pwede kayo pagtripan ng pulis eh. Alright? But if you know your laws, wala. Then you'll be just fine. Now another thing about I think meron dito. Yan. Two of the things that is also very important about alcohol service or responsible serving is breathalyzer. Ito, there was a time na nagyabang ang kapulisan at madami silang binili na breathalyzer. Ngayon, ewan ko, baka ano nangyari sa breathalyzer, baka nawala na ng hininga. No? Sayang. Kasi the thing with this, pag nalaman na lasing ka, huliin mo na, tikitan mo na kaagad. Kasi nga, you have to be firm eh. And not only that, ideally, some of the bars should have this also. Now, there was one convention, which is actually very good. It lasted for 4 years, 3 years. Hopefully, it will be back. Whiskey Live. And merong breathalyzer doon. No? You can monitor if you're over the limit or not. So it's really a practice worldwide. Dito sa Pinas, unfortunately, yun nga, naging papogi lang yung breathalyzer natin. No? But before we go to breathalyzer, ito, ID. Now, underage drinking is a crime technically, and ito dapat talaga, I'm happy that most of the bars now are asking for proof of identification. Now, another crime is buying alcohol for underage. Okay? Now, this is the same thing when you go on board. Bawal yan. No? Kasi, well, you have the right to confiscate the drink kung underage talaga yung umiinom. Okay? So, learn how to check if galing LTO yung lisensya or any ID o galing Quiapo. Okay? So, yan, these are also two of the things that's important in responsible serving. Now ito, last but not the least na tayo. Yay, matapos tayo. How to be a responsible bar management student. Diba? So, kasi babalik na tayo sa classroom natin eh. Now, paano nga ba? Be critical on social media. Okay? Now, since we're talking again about mental health and stuff, dapat hindi tayo basta-basta maniniwala sa mga nakikita natin na post online. Madaming fake news dyan. Okay? Kaya nga tawag Facebook eh. It's a book full of faces. It's a book full of information. Pero ang tanong, yung information, kung totoo o hindi. Kaya ka nga, isa ka sa clickbait. Isa tayo sa clickbait. Yung mga maraming views, yun yung mga magandang content. Okay? Maganda doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Maganda or entertaining. Okay? So be critical. Especially yan, content on alcohol, content on bartending, content on mental health. Diba? Marami. Because yun nga, kaya nga yung mga magagaling mag-edit, magaling maggawa ng script, etc. Okay? Pero ang totoo, kaya sila gumagawa ng ganon o ginagalingan para ma-click natin, para ma-share natin. Okay? So, kaya, you have to be critical. Tignan nyo kung you will really benefit on this. Kasi benefiting on it doesn't necessarily mean you can relate to it. Okay? Minsan kaya tayo nag-click ng isang video is because you can relate to it. It's interesting. Parang ako to not necessarily na na ano, na merong value talaga yun. Alright? Now next, be observant. Now, you as HRM student, or bar management student, be observant. Be observant to what's going on around you. Be observant to what people are saying. Be observant to how the restaurants are moving now. No? Kailangan kasi yan eh. Hindi tayo pwedeng, kahit nasabihin natin some of you are still at home and are afraid to go out, or sabihin natin by the time that you have your vaccine, diba? Tingnan yung paligid nyo. Kamusta na ba? Kamusta na ba ang palengke? Kamusta na ba ang mga tao sa grocery? Kamusta na ba ang mga bars? May nagbukas na ba? Mga restaurants? Actually, let me share you something. Last Saturday, I was in Batangas. No? I was in Lipa. I went to the Talipapa. Diba? Social naman, ano? The Talipapa. Actually, ang isa sa goal ko, kaya ako nag-Batangas, is to eat lomi. No? So, we enjoyed that bowl of, ako kasi chicken lomi ang in-order ko eh. And ang sarap, no? Dami pa kumakain dun sa restaurant, although social distancing naman. And I noticed also Batangas is up on its feet na. Madami na rin mga naglalakad sa palengke, daming namimili sa palengke. Actually, noong time na yon, may dalawang kandidato na umiikot, may mga para may rally, ganyan. Hindi lang ako nagpaabot ng gabi. Hindi pa kasi it's kind of hard, like I said, no. Especially pag ganyan long travel. That's another thing. If you are drinking, one of the things you have to consider is your travel time. Kung kayo ay iinom sa Makati at taga Makati kayo, okay lang. Pero kung kayo ay kagaya ko na iinom sa Makati tapos taga Marikina, then you have to be responsible. Know your limits, but enjoy. Diba? Know your limits, but enjoy. Now, another thing I want to share with you, during the pandemic, in the bar management subject, para nating naranasan yung prohibition. Yun nga yung kanina, yung bumili ako ng alak sa kaibigan ko, ay sa estudyante ko, ng bawal, Also, another thing, there are some bars that operate illegally. Now, unfortunately, may nahuli na naman last week. Hindi lang na-mention kung anong bar yon. But it's kind of sad because sad at the same time, funny. Kasi ganito yung this was how it was in the 1920s, 1930s. Na bawal ang alak, pero pag may alak, may balak. Sabi nga nila. So, people still, buy. And there are still some bars that are open. There are a few na kahit illegally open. But people go there, word of mouth. Okay? So this is part of history. 10 years, 5 years after, 10 years after, you'll just be telling stories about that. Na grabe pala noon, ito, ganito ginagawa natin, blah, blah, blah. And we're making history as we speak. Now, always have a goal and find ways to achieve it. Okay? I'll give you an example. Okay. Press C. Type C kung gusto nyo mag-work sa cruise ship. Sige. Sige nga. Sino mga gusto magbarko dito? Type C or press C if you want to work on cruise ship. Yeah, that's okay. This is my last na. Okay. So, yan. So, pero bago kayo magbarko, di ba? Anong munang gusto niyong posisyon? Now, if you know what position you want to be in when you work on the ship, then you work on that. All right. So actually, again, Toma Sessions has three core values: be inspired, be informed, and be involved. So, yung mga hindi pa nagsusubscribe, mag-ano muna kayo ng ating mag-put up muna kayo ng YouTube account and then subscribe and hit the bell button. All right? And then with that, sige, question time na. So, do you have any questions? Sige, I will read through it. Hindi, unless actually, pwede palang stop share na muna ako. Pwede na akong magpaakyat ng host. Wait, stop share muna ako. All right, Margaret.
Yes po, mabuhay. Mabuhay si Richie. Mabuhay everyone. Thank you for being with us today and for participating in our event. Indeed, as Mr. Richie said earlier, that even if you're currently in the middle of the pandemic, we are glad for your presence and for continuing to appreciate whatever we have today. So, may we all have the passion to strive harder and we will soon surely harvest the fruit of our labor. Right, Nonoy?
Nonoy?
Hi po!
Hi. May questions pa? Yan, tama-tama. 5 minutes to 4. Sakto naman tayo. So if there are any questions, you can ask them now. Actually,
Comment na po kayo sa YouTube.
Comment lang. Comment.
Sa YouTube chat box po.
Para mabasa na nila. Ito meron na. Marian May Chavez. So let's accept 3 questions. No? Being a bartender for years, what is the thing that you most dislike about bartending? Kung meron man po. Well, dislike. Meron nga ba? Okay. Well, minsan kasi, let's be realistic. May mga guests na talagang kung kailan pasara na, saka darating. Okay? Meron ganon. Yun talaga nakakainis talaga, nakakairita. Nag-last call ka na, may biglang darating pa. Sakto. Beating the red light. Tapos, isang beer lang o-orderin nun. Tapos, maabutin pa ng 1 oras. O, di ba? Yun. If there's one thing that I hate or I dislike, yan yung isa. Next, Dunker or Tile. Sa tingin nyo po, ba kung ang responsible alcohol consumption ay na-introduce sa murang edad, mas mababa po ba ang alcohol-related crimes and accidents? Actually, alam nyo, in some senior high school schools, no, or places or cities, I was able to teach bartending. No, obviously, itong online, so wala talagang tasting. Pero ang nangyayari kasi, since sa bahay yung mga gamit and with the parents, nako-control. No? Now, in terms of teaching it on an early stage, well, yeah, pero it doesn't necessarily mean na bababa. Kasi depende sa tao yan eh. It's about kaya nga responsible drinking eh. Diba? Minsan lang talaga kasi tayo bilang mga tao, unfortunately, some of us are easily swayed. Diba nga may term na nabubudol? Maraming madaling mabudol eh. No? Lalo na Pinoy. I don't know why. Pero ang dali, kasi mabait tayo. I think it's about us being mabait eh. It's about us being accommodating, being hospitable. Kaya minsan itcha-prank tayo, 'di ba, ng ibang mapagsamantalang tao, you know, and we tend to be gullible. Ako minsan naloko na ako ng illegal recruiter when I was in my younger years. Diba? So I guess when it comes to this question, hindi it's really all about the person. Okay, one more question. Kay Julia Grizel Basilio. Mabuhay, Sir Richie. Have you encountered a guest who is under the influence of party drugs? If yes, how did you handle it? Actually, oo. Sobrang kulit, babae pa. Yeah, yun din. Stay calm. Parang nakikiride ka lang. Pero syempre, yung tropa niya na hindi lasing o hindi pa high, okay, sabi ko, uy, parang medyo nagiging linta na tong friend mo sa akin parang hindi na tong maganda. Okay, so bahala ka na dyan. Sa iyo na yan, kako, kasi magko-close na ako. You know what I mean? I did. Been there, done that. Both locally and internationally. Ha? So, again, if you, kaya nga sabi doon, be calm. Yan. Elmer John, how much is too much alcohol and how do we know if the guest has already had enough? You know what? The only person that can answer that, I guess, is the drinker. Kaya nga meron kasabihan, magtira ka pa uwi. If it also, kayo maano niya yan eh. Kaya nga, it takes a bit also of maturity to know your limit na eh. Pag medyo tingin mo nakakairita ka na on a personal note, then mag-bill out ka na. If you think that also you're annoying other people, then, you know, it's time to go. Kung inaanto ka na, it's time to go. Kung kailangan mo nang umuwak, it's time to go. Diba? Huwag na nating pilitin. Although you enjoy, minsan talaga remote control or minsan may term tayo dyan, parang autopilot ka na. Kaya nga again, your friends, you should have a trusted friend. Okay? If not, medyo a trusted environment that the bartender will take care of you. Kasi ako kaya medyo kampante naman ako whenever I leave the house and I go to a bar that I know the bartender. Kasi hindi ako pababayaan nun. Although I don't really overindulge. Okay? Alright, next. Last na tayo siguro. Ito kay Jean Ira Katulay. Mabuhay. How many years of experience na po ang needed? Okay, this is the never-ending question. Technically, since I've also been the trainer of Holland America Lines for the beverage staff ng buong Pinoy, the past, well, from 2013 to 17, ang requirement talaga is 2. Minimum 2. Minsan kasi pag sobrang swerte mo, kahit kakagraduate mo pa lang, pwede ka na makasampay. Okay? But generally speaking, 2. Bakit? Kasi, I guess, you have to develop the discipline first on land. Okay? Now, ito, a perfect example ko sa inyo. Tardiness. Okay? So, meron tayong pinag-usapan na magic number, for example, na pwedeng na a-attend dito. Alright? Na ang tanong, kunwari, kanina, anong oras ang call time? Anong oras kayo pumasok? Anong oras nag-Zoom? Nakalipat ba kayo kaagad sa YouTube? If you were able to do that, nang hindi kayo late talaga, then you have the discipline. Pag nag-face-to-face na kayo sa industry, chances are, you develop this attitude na you value time. No? Kasi ito yung isa sa virus din, apart from the pandemic, yung tardiness virus. Yan. Isa sa naging yung virus yan when it comes to online learning. And I can, I have, well, of course, I was able to experience that, and that's why I keep on reminding students about that. Now, another thing also, na kaya kailangan ng 2 years experience, since we came from the pandemic, ang isa sa virus din na nadagdag bukod sa pandemic virus o COVID, yung virus na hindi na tayo sanay makipag-usap sa tao mata sa mata or person to person. No? Parang mas sanay na tayo makipag-usap sa tao na magta-type na tayo o kaya naman yung mga live stream. No? But even looking in the eyes of the person, medyo nawala yan sa atin eh. No? Because nasa bahay lang tayo. So I call it a virus also. It's 1.5 years of not being able to see people eye to eye, not being able to touch people, not being able to laugh with people. You know? So when you're gonna work in a cruise ship, kailangan ma-refresh mo yan sa memory mo. But of course, itong 1.5 years to 2, going on 2 na pahinga natin because of the pandemic, use this as a time to better yourself as a person, to better yourself as an HRM student. So, kunwari itong bartending, di ba? I see a lot of videos that you do with the flair and stuff. Now, if you really know some things on flair already, then perfect your skills on making cocktails. Perfect your skills on, meron nag-comment kanina sa inyo, spirit identification. Diba? So learn how to distinguish the different brands of rum. Instead of just having Tanway, have a Bacardi, have a Plantation, have a Cruzan, diba? And because kahit na pare-parehas na light rum yan, magkakaiba flavor profile yan. There's a difference between each rum. Or let's say, yun na nga, start memorizing cocktails also. Okay? So but by the time you get to interview, to be interviewed, magiging mas confident na kayo. O sige, siguro, baka napakarami na nating, o may pahabol, last na, totoong last na. Is it okay po ba to be a bartender even if I don't personally like alcohol? Okay, Claire, ito pa sa isa sa mga nakukuha kong tanong with all the students that I've taught. It's not that it's okay. It's not that it's not okay. It's just that it will help you be a more, how would you call it? Ano ba? Mas maniniwala sa yung guest kung umiinom ka mismo. Credible. Alright? You can't say, oh, I recommend this. This is a delicious wine, but I don't drink alcohol. Diba? I think that's funny. Na kaya ka lang just to sell or just by the person. You have to live it also. Kaya meron akong kasabihan, tagay hanggang mamatay, which I adopted when I was in Singapore. It actually means literally, di ba? Tagay hanggang mamatay. Pero in English, it means I live and die bartending. Kasi nga, lahat ng aspects ng bartending, the good and the bad, when in sickness or in health, I'm still experiencing it as we speak. Now, if you notice, my school closed, but I have a mini school here now at my back. Okay? Kasi hindi pwede, I converted my room into a bar, into a studio. Okay? Kasi ewan ko, dati, anong early stages ng pandemic, akala ko, tapos na unboxing, wala nang bartending. Pero, eto pa rin pala talaga. Okay? So, yeah, I think that's it. So, again, wait, hindi pa pala ako tapos sa ko, may i-share pa ako last na. Hindi nakalimutan ko, kailangan makita nyo to bago tayo mag-zoom.
I guess there is no other questions po, sir. So on behalf of the Frontliners organization and the participants, we thank you for the thorough and comprehensive presentation, Mr. Richie. We are grateful to have you with us today. Thank you for the knowledge and wisdom that will be very helpful for a lot of people, especially the hospitality management students.
Alright. So last na lang, promote ko yung book ko. So I have a book, Bar and Beverage Management. So Edric Publishing House. So if you have, you can pre-order it. Ma'am Joyce, alam mo na. And then ito, I will start making the video. Hopefully by tomorrow, it will be out there. And then let's see. And let's see if you guys are listening and who gets to take this home. Alright? So sige, thank you. Again, it was an honor and a pleasure to give this webinar. I hope you did learn something and well, keep safe, have yourselves vaccinated, not because it's a choice, but because you need to be with other people. Diba? Means ito talaga batas ito eh. So if it's a law already or if we need this, diba? Hindi tayo pwedeng sabi, oh no, yes, it's your choice, but if you want to be with other people, then get yourself vaccinated. All right? So thank you very much. So shall we proceed to sa Zoom natin? All right. So with that, guys, just to close this.
So,
go ahead.
So in continuation po for our program, we will now request everyone to please re-enter in our Zoom cloud meeting related to you during the registration. Again, in continuation for our program, we will now request everyone to please re-enter in our Zoom cloud meeting using the link that is provided to you during the registration. We are hoping to see you there.
All right, I will be there also for the
in continuation for our program, may we now request everyone to please re-enter in our Zoom cloud meeting using the link that is provided to you during the registration. See you po.
Alright.
Maraming salamat.
Okay. Okay, so with that, I will go to the Zoom already. Thank you very much, guys. So for those of you out there who are watching this, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. And always remember, be inspired, be informed, and be involved. I'll see you on our next episode and live stream. Toma na.